Later. We, we are so excited to come together to announce an amazing event. I'm so thankful to Kathy and Ansela for joining me. I'd like to give the major details about the event right away in case anyone has to step away. So on March 31st to April 2nd in Atlanta, Georgia at the Ambient Studios, it's going to be a one of a kind event. There is going to be a tech conference, and the tech conference is it's going to be welcoming over 1,000 women into Web3. It is an amazing event produced by women for women. March 31st, April 2nd, Atlanta, Georgia, Ambient Plus Studios. If anyone is familiar with it, is a place where events are held, and it's going to be completely transformed into this immersive experience with a main stage. Then there's going to be other various experiences. There's going to be a NFT art gallery with a listening area. There's going to be a youth stage. It's going to have programming and cool giveaways for the youth. Also, there's going to be a job fair. There's going to be a blockchain expo, and there is going to be educational workshop that is going to be held by DISRUPTO DAO. So now that you know all this amazing stuff that's happening, oh, actually, I'll tell you one other important thing. The prices to this event, the tickets, are so affordable. And this is with intention. This is this information is so important. The tech industry is only 4% for people of color and less for women. It is so important that we are aware of the information that we're going to share, that we are aware of that these events like this is happening, that we're receiving this information about the future, about the now, exactly, about the now and the future, and all of the changes that's happening in technology, how it's going to affect our lives, how it's going to affect the future of work, how it's going to affect the future for our young ones, whether we are moms, aunties, cousins, brothers, or sisters. All of us are going to be affected by it. We don't want to find out as people of color, as women, at the 11th hour. We want to be on the ground floor so we can build our own tables and don't have to ask for permission to sit at a table later. So with that being said, now that you know all of the juicy stuff that is going on, I want to talk to you about who we are. My name is Melanie. I'm the co-founder of DISRUPTO DAO. We are an organization, a woman-led organization with a mission to accelerate wealth building opportunities for Black and Brown women, particularly in Web3. We want to ensure that you thrive safely and successfully in the space, and we have a vision to be the premier location to onboard Black and Brown women. So I got together with Kathy Hood, who is an amazing leader in Atlanta. Ansela was wonderful to introduce me to her dear friend, and we're just women coming together with a shared mission to spread the word, to invite you to this incredible event. If you're in Atlanta, get your ticket. And if you don't have the ability to travel to Atlanta, don't worry, it will be streamed virtually, but you should still get a ticket. So with that being said, if either of you, whoever wants to start and introduce yourself.
Angela, look, I'm trying to hold my peace while Melanie talking. I would be
look, I know who
yes, girl.
I know who I'm dealing with. Go ahead on, Kathy.
She was like, okay, 4% of people of color is not, and less for women. I'm like, girl, so I was trying to hold myself. But thank you so much, Melanie, for including me. And Angela, thank you so much for introducing me to Melanie and DISRUPTO DAO Group. This is phenomenal, guys. I am all things women. Again, my name is Kathy Hood. I am CEO of Marvelous Light Empowerment Association. But and it's a nonprofit. But under there, we have several programs. And one of the things that we do, the main thing that we do is empower people. So that's no different when it comes to finances and just learning about this Web3, this new technologies that's out here. And again, Melanie, I totally agree. We want to be on the ground floor. We want to do it now. And so the one thing that caused me and Angela to connect is because of the same mission that we're on, of helping women to understand this area, because of the fact that once we found out and we realized so many other people don't, right? And so we've been on a mission ever since we met each other together to get the word out. So I'm super excited to be a part of Fest this year. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Angela, introduce yourself. What are you passionate about and what are you working on? Tell us more.
Well, first of all, Mal, thanks so much. It's been great since I've connected with Disruptor DAO. I have been telling people in my Facebook group or my Facebook network that I'm taking this amazing 6-week blockchain class. And that is how I found Disruptor DAO. Thanks to Dr. Tammy Francis for sharing with me what she was doing. And it's just been phenomenal. I've been helping people in the cryptocurrency space since 2017, helping them to properly onboard. And more recently, in about the past 2 years, I've been focusing specifically on women over 40 because I do not want us to be left behind. This is so big and so important. And I know it's not something that might be affecting us in the moment. Our lives are not altered because we don't understand cryptocurrency, but we want to be proactive and not reactive. So many times we miss out because we're waiting to see what's going to happen. We're waiting for the powers that be to say, oh, it's okay. Or it's not okay. But
Okay, look.
but we really want to get into this thing because there's so much opportunity. Mel, as you know, we had a speaker session in our course about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and she said we have about 5 to 7 years to really form this space and what it's going to be. So I want everyone who knows me, who's connected to me, who's heard of me, who knows Crypto Auntie, to come on in and let's structure this to our benefit. And it's so important that we do that because we really don't want anyone to, like I always say, it's just much easier to keep up than to catch up. So come on, everybody, come on down to Fest in Atlanta at the end of March.
I love that. It is so much better I love that. Yeah, I love that saying. We're going to cover a couple topics in this conversation. And we want to talk about what does it look like to be investing? What are people saying? What you should know? What's true? What's false? What's a myth? And we're going to talk about investing now, the value, finding money to do so, and community. And how important it is to get this information in community. My life has been changed dramatically. About 3 years ago, I started my journey into financial literacy, and it was because I was, at Barnes and Nobles reading Investing 101 books, at YouTube University at its best. And then I found a community of women, and everything has been it catapulted my experience. I felt supported. I felt safe. I had a group of like-minded women to work with, to talk to just, shoot ideas around. And anytime I was learning something, I was like, hey, girl, what you think about this? Sending this, sending that. We got our crypto wallets. We started trading. And it was just amazing to do so in community. Before I go forward, I want to take one step back and just mention the class that Angela that she referenced. So Disruptor DAO has partnered with Unit Masters to host a 6-week free blockchain literacy course. If you go to the website, disruptordao.io, you can scroll down and find out more details about the class, sign up for the interest form so you can have an orientation and learn more about it. But as Angela had already mentioned, blockchain technology, and I love what you just said, that it may not feel like an immediate thing because it doesn't have an immediate impact on our lives, but blockchain technology is going to be going. It is and will continue to be
It is.
transforming so many industries, from retail to e-commerce to healthcare. And you may not know that it's having an effect in your work environment, depending on, you know, where you work at your job. But there's so many changes, there's so many opportunities, and it's just an exciting time. Our cohort 15 starts mid-March. And so just wanted to, if anyone's interested in that, please take a look. So we're going to go back. Investing right now. What do you say to women that are, but the market is down, or I had this amount, you know, 6 months ago, 3 months ago? Let's talk about why investing now, why it's important, period, and why especially now it's important, despite what people might be saying or what they're thinking about the market. So whoever wants to talk.
Right now, I want Angela to go this time. Angela, because of course you've been in it longer than I have, but the minute I found out about it and realized how much I didn't know, you know, it has just blown my mind. And that, you know, for people who are leaders, who are go-getters, and I'm one of those kind that you're not gonna, you know, you're not gonna leave me behind. Right. This thing would not defeat me. Okay. And so just learning about this area has just taken me to a whole nother level. I tell people all the time, I said, girl, I feel like a genius now because of all this stuff that I'm learning. So Angela, and then I would just kind of piggyback off Angela from that point when she got started, and then from where I picked up and where I am today as far as that is concerned. So yeah.
So, oh, thank you, Kathy. So basically, it really boils down to mindset. You know, it really boils down to what am I really focusing on doing, not just immediately, but also long term. One thing that I hear a lot in this space, you know, people bought some crypto and they say, oh, well, I've lost all this money. You know, I put $500 in and now it's only worth $50. You haven't lost money. Let's start with that. Your assets have lost value based on the markets, but you have not lost money if you still have your assets. So if we stop thinking just about the current monetary or dollar value of our assets and think more about, but you know what, in 2 or 3 years at the most, this is going to be worth so much more. Again, stop thinking immediate, stop being reactive. We want to be proactive, right? So hang on to those assets, because eventually the market will correct, the cycle will complete, your assets will increase in value. And historically, cryptocurrency assets, when we have this dip or this crypto winter, when everything comes back after the market cycles, then it surpasses the last value or its last peak. So let's think about, you know, not today maybe, but in another year or two. And when we think about how the dollar is consistently losing value, you know, if we just take a few dollars, whatever we have, $20, $50, whatever, and just consistently accumulate assets, then we will see the results and we'll see the profits long term. But we can't just keep focusing on right this very minute. We can't keep listening to all the negativity and all the naysayers. I've seen so many posts and comments, oh, just sell, get out of it. And, you know, and it's not like cryptocurrency is a brand new thing. It might be new to some people, but it's not new. It's been around officially since like 2010. So we're 13 years in, right? So let's stop thinking about looking at that little dollar value on your portfolio. Don't look at it. Just stop looking at it, okay? Just think about, oh, but I have X amount of this cryptocurrency. Look at your high, look at your peak of the cryptocurrencies that you have and say, it's going to be at least back to this amount soon.
Mm-hmm. And you know what, Angela? Oh, I'm sorry, Melanie.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. No, just to kind of piggyback off that, absolutely. I totally agree with just not thinking that you have lost anything, right? And so when we're looking at the fact that, first of all, you should be proud that you are even in the game, okay? Just be proud of that. And then when you look at it, you know, this is the time to prepare. So a lot of times people like to get in when the fire is hot, right? And a lot of times when you jumping in a fire when it's hot, you're gonna get burnt the heck up, right? And not understanding, and then you're gonna run away because of the pain, because of the things that you don't understand. So now if you get in right here on the ground floor, you have a chance to get in and learn. And so the one thing about it is, we don't take the time to try to learn about something. We just want something to get rich quick type of deal. Somebody don't told you about, cryptocurrency and all of that. So let's jump in right now. No, okay. And then it did what it did. But of course, I love it when you say when the market is getting ready, it's going to correct itself. And history has proven that, right? And so we're saying, get in now, get some understanding, get some education. And that's why people like us are around, to help you to understand. I love the fact about your the blockchain class. So the one thing you did tell me, girl, I was so anxious to get in. I done signed up, and now I gotta I'm gonna be in the next class, right? So I'm excited about it, but about just learning about the blockchain system. I know some things about it. I know quite a bit about it, right? But I'm excited about the things the more that I will learn. So again, this is the time to get in, to get educated, stop being afraid, and stop listening to the next door neighbor who doesn't have any crypto, who's never even heard of crypto, who think crypto is a Chuck E. Cheese coin. Okay. So I'm just saying, let's get away from that. Get in and get educated, guys. It's going to blow your mind and set you up for a real generational wealth legacy.
Absolutely. One of the things I want to say is Ansela, you started a really good point to say it's not a loss, right? First of all, it's not a loss until you sell it, right? Like, just because your account has lost value, if you don't sell while the market is down, you're okay. And historically, and so just when I'm saying market right now, I'm also talking about the stock market. I think it's important to mention both, because I think there's some people that are that's in and nervous. There's some people that's on the fence. There's some people that aren't in at all. So I like to speak to all of you. So if anyone who is just still in the stock market, there's cycles. If you've been investing at minimum 10 years, you have seen things go up and down. And so we're in a bear market, and we're going to have a bull run again. And this is the time. Last year, the highest that Bitcoin went was to 60K. And when it's all over the news and people are getting hyped, that's actually not the time to get in. You want to get in now. I should have looked up. I don't know where Bitcoin is today. Is it like 20? Like, actually, I haven't.
So yeah, let me look real quick.
Yeah, we could look. Like, you want to get in while it's lower. As the value grows, then your value in it grows as well. A couple of important things to know, misconceptions that people might not know, is that which is different than the stock market. If you're buying a stock, Apple or something, it could be $200, $300. If you want to get Bitcoin, you can buy just just a dollar amount. Yeah, I hadn't thought about saying that, but I think that's important to say as we're
Yeah.
talking about investing in it. It's accessible at wherever you are. And you can get in whatever dollar amount. When talking about investing, I love talking about the idea that you have the ability to do so even if you think you don't. A lot of times, if we look at our bank statements, we probably have subscriptions. I don't know how many times I done signed up for audiobook and cut it off and cut it back on. I'm like, why do I have 6 credits? And I haven't read any of the books that I already bought. And I'm just like, when I got a hold of audiobook, I thought that I would never go back to. Anyway, the point is, I had to put that on hold. And it was a way that I redirected. That's a small way to get involved in a space, to take a little bit of risk. You can redirect money that you were already spending somewhere else. And this is how I like to describe it. sometimes I don't even want to get in front of people and be like, it's a must. You better, this is going to boom and you want to be on the ride. I don't typically say things like that, even if I feel like that.
Right.
I like to ease folks in. So I say
Right.
things like, think about, I live in New York City. I spend money on Ubers. 'Cause we don't, coffee. And I think about, if I look back at the little frivolous things I've spent all month, there is zero potential of an ROI with my coffee rides, with my, like, not zero, nilch, none of it, right? And so if I redirect some of that money at the potential, let's say you're not sold, but you're willing to take a small risk, at least it has the potential. But we already know on the call that it's going to give you back some value.
Absolutely.
But that's just the
Absolutely.
way I like to just say, think about it that way. So, in the beginning, when you ladies started investing, like, did you have to do anything to, redirect, or, just figure out more ways, like when you first took the risk, or did you believe right away and didn't feel like it was a risk? Like, what was your experience getting into it?
I love
Go ahead,
it.
Kathy.
Okay. So when I first heard about Bitcoin, my son, he's a millennial, he was like, I'm like, boy, get away from me. That's millennial money. Okay, that's some fake money y'all playing around with. That was years ago though. And if I had have taken the time to research, well, actually to listen and not ignore what he was saying, I would be in a totally different place right now with my investments, right? But then later, when I found out about it, and start hearing more and just hearing the research, hearing the information, the education behind it, the all of that, as I began to look into it, it just made sense. It just made sense, and it just lined up with some things that I had already been talking about, working on, praying about, and it showed up in my life. So it wasn't that somebody came to me with it. It wasn't something that I was just like, ooh, I'm trying to find the next get rich project, or how can I make a whole bunch of money? It showed up because of that's the place where I was in my life at that particular time, looking for an answer to something, and it showed up. And the one thing I love what Angela said, it's about mindset. So I did have to redirect some things. So when I looked at guys, for more than one reason, of to stop going to Starbucks every day, right? And that's about $6 right there. So 6 times 5, that's $30. So now that $30 actually goes into cryptocurrency investments every week. You see what I'm saying? So something just that small. And we are always talking to people about, you can start with $5. And so just whatever amount that, just to, like you say, Melanie, just to get your feet wet, just to test it out. People have taken chances on a whole lot more, and of course the ROI was zero, zilch, nothing, right? Maybe some calories. Maybe a bad relationship. Yeah. So you just never know. You just, Angela, I'm trying, I'm being good. I'm being good. So Melanie, yeah, girl, we can get a little deep sometimes and a little silly all at the same time, but it all be truth. Okay. So, but yeah, so those are the things I did. I stopped, and so that's what I did. I just took my coffee money and now I invested weekly.
I love it. I love it.
So for me, I was all in from the break. But the reason I got cryptocurrency or got into cryptocurrency is because I was looking for a way to finance my freedom. I had closed my hair salon. I knew I wasn't going back to corporate. And I said, there are people out here putting their money to work every day and making lots and lots of money. I'm like, I'm not an idiot. I can figure out, what they're doing. So again, like you said, Melanie, there wasn't a whole lot back then as far as resources. It wasn't easy to learn about cryptocurrency. But I dove in, flew down the rabbit hole like everybody else when we start. And then I started seeing profits. And I was like, oh, my timing was good because that was like ETH was on the come up, right? so I got ETH at $200 a coin. And as we know, ETH has gone up to $4,800 a coin. So yes, there was dancing in the streets. And it was just really great timing. But because of that, I think that's why I'm so confident and so sure that cryptocurrency is a viable option. Of course, yes, it's been down for a while, but still, when you know what you're doing, you can still make money even during the down market. Outside of that, I know crypto is often just touted as a financial um, option or financial opportunity, but again, the technology, understanding this technology is so groundbreaking. And when you don't know what's happening because you're not in this space, you don't know that Shopify just instituted an NFT option on their platform. What? Shopify? Like everybody and their grandmother uses Shopify. And they just added an NFT option. That is like game changer. So while people are sitting around afraid and speculating and listening to the people who have reasons to keep you out of the blockchain and crypto space, Shopify is just one of the many major game players that are making moves. Stripe, Visa, MasterCard,
Yeah.
Starbucks. Starbucks has an NFT rewards program. So I really hope people realize that the headlines are not always for you to succeed. Let's just start with that. You really have to look. I have a whole TikTok thing I do about consider the source. Is the source that you're listening to really concerned about you being successful?
Exactly.
And passing on generational wealth to your children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren? Is that their motivation? So think about who you're listening to. Think about whose information you're ingesting and basing your decisions upon. Because, there's this misinformation and information endlessly. I mean, we could, any topic, everybody with a computer is an expert. But you really have to look at, why is this person saying this about this topic? There's always a motivation, always.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is, do what the wealthy are doing. They're wealthy for a reason. MasterCard is MasterCard for a reason. Everybody has a Visa in their wallet for a reason. And Visa says, hey, this crypto thing is working. Here's a card. I'm gonna let you spend your crypto.
Yeah.
If nothing else ever happens in crypto, to me, just that simple fact that Visa trusts crypto as much as it trusts cash, because they issue the exact same debit card on both platforms. They give you one for your bank, they give me one for my crypto. If nothing else happens, I'm good with that. I'm like, oh, there's got to be something to it.
This is a conversation about mass adoption, right? And so within the industry, they say probably within 10 years, they foresee mass adoption happening. And so, the conversation, we're at a really amazing time in history, right? When you are early, you seem crazy, right? People don't believe you. That's what's happening. I have been very inundated in the space for I've been very inundated in financial literacy for about 4 years, and specifically about 1.5 to 2 years in crypto. So much so that I forget about how the outside world thinks about it, because all of my conversations is with like-minded people that I actually had somebody say to me the other day, a friend texted me and was just catching up, and he's like, oh, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, the past year and a half I've been expanding myself into Web3. And he's like, oh my God, I hope you didn't put your money in crypto. And then I said to him, well, do you have a 401k? Like, isn't the stock market down as well? Like, have you ever just woke up in the morning and was like, oh my God, the market is down, and pulled all of your money out of your 401k? Did you do that? Or do you trust that this is a long-term game? Historically, the market has recovered over and over and over again, and so the issue is about taking it out when it's low. I want to speak to another thing you said, Angela, about listening to people. I also like to give people grace. Your loved ones, they love you. They care about you for the most part. You know what I mean? Like, they are trying to keep you safe. So when they're saying, I I can't tell you, Kathy, what you just said about your son. I have heard this story several times. My financial coach, I worked with her as a program coordinator for a couple of years, and we've done so many workshops. And I had heard so many moms say that about their kid, that their kid told them about it 5, 10 years ago. And it's okay, because the opportunity is still here. And
It's
this is
good.
an amazing time because the market is down. So I love to say that, lead with curiosity and not fear. And that the more you increase your education, the more your fear will reduce. So when your loved ones or your friend or whomever is talking you out of this, know that it's with love, give them grace, and you go find your curious, open-minded friend.
That's right.
And y'all sign up for the next class, join the next community, dig in, dig deep, and really learn. And this is what it looks like to be early. People are going to doubt you. And think about, now I don't know how old anybody is on this call, but we're like at the boom of where it was for the internet, right? Like
Mhm.
some people got in early, got high value cash out. Some people got in and lost things and rebuilt again, because it is all about timing. And some things do involve risk. We're not telling anybody to go, blow everything, but you want to take something and you want to get involved. You want to educate yourself first. And as Ansela said, it's about mindset, right? Because this whole get rich, get quick, this will leave you susceptible to scammers and phishing. So if it is
Absolutely.
too good to be true, it probably is. And this is the thing we're saying, stay clear of that. This is not about get rich quick. I'm on a 5-year plan. My 1 year is down, and I envision myself 4 years from now doing whatever I want, whether that's on the yacht, on the vacation, whether it's at home in Brooklyn. The point is having options, and that's my highest level of value. My personal mission is to connect my community to resources, and I want to do that in various ways. So when I think about what 4 years from now, I'm on a 4-year plan. I have vision. I'm connected to what the end result looks like, and we get to build that. That's what being in this space
Absolutely.
is about. There's so much ripe opportunity, particularly for people of color, because the barriers of entry is
So
reduced
low.
in this space. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how, infrastructure and Web3, and how this space leaves so much room for anyone to get in, and how you built yourself, uh, crypto auntie, like how you took advantage, how you got in early and created something that you wanted for yourself.
I'm gonna tell I wanted to say this before we got into that, but your segue is perfect. I want to compare this to when I started my natural hair business. I went natural in 1996. Of course, that was long before natural was cool. Again, there wasn't much out there. I could find maybe 1 or 2 salons to take care of my hair the way I I used to have hair, y'all. I did. So, by 2000, I opened my natural hair salon. And when I tell you, I was ridiculed, I was mocked. How do you think you're going to make money doing that? It was just ha ha ha. Look at her, including friends, close friends. My family not so much, but including friends. But here I am with my little business, and I'm going to start doing natural hair. 2008, Facebook, natural hair just runs rampant on Facebook. So now everybody and their mom was going natural, because now it's cool, because there are people on Facebook and YouTube saying it's cool. Now, at that point, I'm 8 years in, so I'm a expert, right? My brand is established. I'm getting asked to come to speak in Europe, in France, the UK, and Spain. I've been to Alaska, all over the US, because I have longevity at my 8 years in natural hair, right? But also my close friends, the same friends. Oh, and when I started my locks, it was just joke city. What are you doing? When I tell you, every single one of my friends is natural now, all of them. All of them. And now they completely forgot how to used to dog me out about my natural hair, because they're so pro natural. I say all that to say this. I foresee the same thing happening in crypto. People like, are you crazy? Oh, that's a scam. Oh, that's thief money. That's black market money, whatever they're saying. But again, it's going to happen because we know it's going to happen. And those very same people who ultimately went natural will also be calling me for crypto advice. There's not a doubt in my mind. So once I saw this and understood what crypto was, and I'm still learning because it's an ever evolving space, I saw the need to help people in my community, as we already established, to get it and to present it in a way that it was easy for them to understand, that it was relatable. I would just see a lot of the conversations being very technical. And the average person, they don't care about the tech, including me. I didn't care. And we can compare it to email. Do we know how email works? Do we care? Long as the email is received, exactly. Long as Kathy knows we have an event scheduled for that day, who cares? So it's the same with crypto. I started by focusing on the practicality of it, why you need to understand the basics of it, how it actually can affect your finances if you do it the right way. But again, keeping it very simple and clear and easy to understand. So that's been my forte, making it easy to understand, simple to get into, helping people push past the FUD. You know, it is scary. You're talking math, you're talking technology, and you're talking money. 3 topics most people are afraid of. So I get that.
It's funny when you say it's scary, and I said, well, it is, well, except for the ones who are not scary cats, like us, we don't mind taking a risk.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm a dive in first and figure it out later kind of
okay,
person.
figure
That's
it
how I
out
live
later. I
my
have
life.
friends like that, right?
Right.
And I love it. So it's about technology, right? And I'm telling people change is inevitable, right? Hold on one second, guys. I don't want to lose you all. So change is inevitable. And when we look at, again, when you use the email, I remember, when we talk about what is that, web 1, what's that, is that web 2, web 3. So now we in with both feet, right? With where we are right now. And people adjusted, they adjusted. So I mean, a lot of the older women that I've been talking to, and men, that are afraid of it because it is technology, right? And I'm like, you got through everything else. And so they just don't want to learn anything new. So they just think it's a big learning curve. And I'm saying, okay, it may be, but you have time, you waste time doing some everything else. Now we're talking about a return on ROI on your time, which could definitely cause you to be sitting real pretty when it's time to get on that yacht, as Melanie was talking about, or headed to South Africa. What Angela always, oh, I mean, to tell you a secret, Angela, they're gonna be looking for you, girl. I know, right? They're gonna be looking for you. They won't be able to, get into touch with you. Yes, they will. But anyway, but I'm just saying, it is about it. This is the information age, right? And so we have gone through all these different, phases of life. And this is just another one. And so guess what? After this one, there will be another one. So just get with it, and get with some people, as Melanie has said many of times, with people that are like-minded. And I know we hear that all the time, like-minded women. I want to be around like-minded women. I said, well, you better make sure you know what their mind is liking. You know what I'm saying? And then, pray for some discernment instead of just, when somebody hit your IG. And when I hear about these people who don't lost all this money or lost any money, because you cannot blame the person that sent it to you. You don't want to accept it and said yes and sent your money, all because you did not do the research first, or you're not part of a group, that can help you to learn about this amazing space of blockchain, cryptocurrency. So I'm just real excited about it. So yeah, and again, we love building. I built my community around empowering women on all levels, business, of course, entrepreneurship, career, life, marriage, finances. All of that plays a big part, and it's all through technology, guys.
Yeah.
Let me interject one thing, Mel, before you go forward. And the thing is, too, historically as a people, we've had our abundance of challenges. And at some point, all you could learn was what your parents taught you, pretty much when it came to how you live your life, the choices you make. But y'all, like Kathy said, it's the information age. We have no excuse. The information is there for everyone.
Yep.
It's there for everyone. And especially with blockchain technology, Web3, cryptocurrency, the playing field is leveled. And when I say everyone, I'm talking around the globe. So if a person does not know or does not fully grasp what is before them, it's because they've chosen not to.
Mm-hmm.
It's no longer, oh, they didn't tell us. We weren't privy to those secrets. That's no longer the case. So it's up to each one of us to say, all right, let me sit down, understand this stuff, and see what I can do. Because like I said earlier, time is limited, because once things are in place, because right now we're in the formative stages. So we need to get in here and help form what we want Web3 to look like for us and for those around us.
100%. I think of the Airbnb era before
yeah.
regulation came down, and people were out here doing any and everything that they wanted before they started finding you. That's where we are. I wanted to speak to the idea of not being a technical person. I went to school for fashion. I am a sales professional. I have worked in sales or customer service the majority of my life. And 4 years ago, when I began my journey of, man, I really need to become financially literate. And I would have never thought in a million years that this would be my jam. And for me, you said me either. For me, I fell in love with the idea of feeling empowered around my finances. Um, it was just amazing. Some of us may or may not come. My family gave me lots of love. They just didn't have the knowledge. They didn't have the knowledge. They just didn't have the knowledge. And learning how to read a stock chart, a crypto chart, learning how to do fundamental technical analysis, meaning fundamental analysis is around looking around a project. If you're talking crypto, if you're talking the stock market, looking at a company, looking at the teams in place, looking at the history, knowing what would make that a successful company or not. There's some metrics around that. Technical analysis is looking at a chart, determining how it's doing in the moment to decide when you want to get in.
Yeah.
Learning this information, I mean, it just felt so empowered. Learning how to look at your stock portfolio to figure out your ROI so you can know, do you want to get out of something, get in something, get more of something, reduce something. It's such an empowering. So I could say, my coach would not like me saying I'm bad at math, but and numbers still trip me up. However, as I actively work to be better in that area, I still fell in love with feeling empowered and looking at my finances and knowing what's going on. It is possible. I am non-technical. Like none of those things that you may think you need to be good at are me. And I just fell in love with the idea of knowing that I had a hand in what my financial looked like in a real way. Because Angela was saying, most of the time we weren't privy to this information. And the barriers are really reduced in Web3 in the sense of there's tons of information out here. Again, you want to be in community to receive it. The ability to be a creator or a builder, if you have a problem that you want to solve, uh, there's so many resources to do so. And the barrier. So if we think about people of color and where we are in the world, right? The mission, the problem that we're looking to solve with Disrupted DAO is to really reduce the wealth gap. That's our big vision picture. The reason that people of color, there's various reasons why we're in this position, that we are, which is an extremely low net worth, and we're on track to be at a zero. And the average white household has an 8 times higher net worth than we do. The amazing thing about being in this space is that when you invest in technology, um, the potential for your net worth to be catapulted, the ROI investing in tech. I know a lot of people have conversations about investing in like blue chip, or as you should, right? But they're pretty steady. They don't move much. It's solid. It's a for sure bet. That's great. You should have some of that in your portfolio. But tech, this is what the potential looks like.
Yeah.
That's why we just a rocket, So we want to be involved. You can start small, but get yourself educated, attach yourself to a community, go to an event, come to Fest, listen to all these incredible women speak, talk about their journey, talk about how they did it, provide tools, resources. It's an amazing way. My entry into this space started at a tech conference. Like that's what took me down the rabbit hole. I was an investor first, but working in this space and wanting to onboard women in this way where I'm doing it, it's I'm not full time yet, but it takes up the majority of my time, and I'm so passionate about it. And I am being an active builder to creating a place so that I'm able to do this full time, because I now want my personal mission to be aligned with my life mission and my work mission. And I want it because I so want this for us. I so want us to win. And it is amazing being in conversation and community with other women that feel the same. We are 10 minutes to the hour. And so I just want to ask you, ladies, is there any, closing tips, thoughts, anything that you want to share as we're starting to wrap up the conversation?
Well, just to kind of piggyback on what you were just saying, Melanie, I'm self-taught when it comes to technology, anything, and so again, it doesn't take you already having to be a professional in the space, right? And I would have never thought in a million years either that I would be loving this space. It's like I do. I would have never thought. And I was just saying that again last night to some people, to some friends. I would have never thought that this would have been a space that I would be holding events with Angela on blockchain or crypto, or just the things that we are doing. And just guys, I'm just saying, just don't be afraid. Just take one step. We just say just take one step at a time. Ask the dumb questions. People think that they're too afraid to ask a question, and no question is dumb. Okay, it's just only crazy. We will be even dumber because of the fact that of us not even asking the question. Ask the question, and believe me, somebody in our community will answer it because we were once there, right? And so this is not a place where I was as you just heard, that I was nowhere near, never heard anything about it. And when I did, I ignored it. And so, again, it is very empowering that you can learn on a basic level how to look at a chart and know in which direction these things are going. And it has made me, just empowered me to a whole nother level where I would never thought I would be. But so I'm just saying, just take one step, guys. We're here for you. So yeah, I'm so super excited about Fest, and I just can't wait to hang out with you guys all weekend, and just empower and encourage women in this space. So thank you again, Melanie.
I want to have my closing message directed to my niche market, women over 40. Representation is so important. And I know as a woman of color over 40, I'm a unicorn. I go to these crypto events. I went to Consensus in June of last year. There were 17,000 attendees, and I may have seen 20 to 25 Black women. And of that 20 to 25, I probably still was the only one over 40. So I understand that you don't see yourself often when you're looking at Web3, blockchain, and all those kinds of topics. We're not typically the avatar for those conversations. However, that's all the more reason we need to be there, because we are the ones who are going to bring it back to our communities. We're going to tell our parents and our sisters and our nephews, this is our role. And this is why I encourage you, reach out to any one of us. Join the Disruptor DAO, take the blockchain course. It's free. It takes time. I'm never going to tell you guys or minimize your responsibility if I'm inviting you to do something. It's going to take time. Have I been behind? Yes, I have. But I make sure I just take my time and catch up. It's free. You can take it over and over. It's okay. If you fall behind this cohort, pick up next cohort, because this information is so valuable that they are giving away. There's absolutely no reason for you not to take some time and look at it. So aunties, come on, let's get it together. Let's get this understanding so that we can help other people. And this is honestly what I'm doing, why I'm here. Like Kathy said, I love it. I never imagined I would be such an enthusiast behind this stuff, but it's fantastic. And there's so much that you can do. And the more I learn, the more possibilities I see. So it all starts with getting that accurate understanding.
Ladies, thank you so much. This has been an amazing conversation. I look forward to continuing to spread the word, encourage, empower, educate, on board, see us living the life of our dreams in a real way. One other statistic I want to just say before we go. We are educating ourselves more than we ever have, women of color. We are enrolling in schools, starting businesses. We are making amazing strides. However, the statistics still say that our net worth is not increasing. And a lot of that has to do with us not investing. We didn't create the game, somebody else created the game. Just in the way there's a conversation about being an employer versus being an employee versus a business owner, right? America is a capitalist society. They set it up. You win big when you are a business owner. I am not suggesting everybody be a business owner. It's not in everybody's spirit or wheelhouse. However, you do get to be an owner by investing. And this is historically a way that people build wealth. You want to invest, like I'm here to have the conversation about investing in crypto, about investing in digital assets. But I'm saying, if you haven't been investing in anything, if you just want to start with the stock market, jump in. Jump in, join a community, reach out to someone, find someone that's doing it. This year, right now, will be one of the most important financial years, probably in our lifetimes, right? We're not going to live forever, but the next, let's say, hopefully everybody on here live the next another 20, 30 years, right? Like, so while we are here, this is probably going to be the biggest turn in our lifetimes right now. And it's so vital. Millionaires are actually made during recessions, during times when things are low, because when they come back, if you have positioned yourself, the reward is going to be so great. And so, again, reach out to any of us. Again, you can go to the website, disruptodao.io, and you will see all the information about the 6-week course, about Fest. We want to see you there. At bare minimum, get your virtual passes. But we know Kathy is on this call coming from Atlanta. So for all you folks in Atlanta, there's a $36 one-day ticket and I think a $65 multi-day pass. And so come for the whole weekend if you can. Pay the $65 because I want you to know these global tech conferences, bare minimum $1,000 ticket. $1,000. I thought I was going to consensus this year, and I was like, maybe not. These tickets are no joke. And the reason that
Right.
you want to be in this space right now is because they do want to onboard people. There's so many free classes. There's so many, and I'm going to tell you, most of these events that I have gone to, actually haven't had to pay these $1,000 tickets because they're so. Now you got to look, but there's a lot of opportunity if you are a woman or if you're a person of color to go to these events for free, because there's lots of value in having diversity when you are building. And there are a lot of companies and people that are committed to diversifying creating diversity and inclusion in our future, because it is of high value for us to be there, to be at the tables, to be the builders. So see you at Fest. You can go to our Instagram as well, just to see a little bit more about the community and what we're doing, to be aware of our events. And there's also the link in the bio of the Instagram to join the 6-week class, to get your tickets for Fest. And yeah, so ladies, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for
Yes.
coming together with me on this beautiful day to invite all of these communities to start this conversation, to continue this conversation, to expand this conversation. And thank you so much for spending your afternoon with me.
It's
An
1
hour.
o'clock.
Well, there it is.
Thank you so much, Mel. And I can't wait to meet you in person.
Yes. You know what's so funny? Sometimes I forget that I haven't met people in person. I talk to them so much in this way.
Right.
When you said that, it almost startled me. And I'm like, oh my God, we haven't met in person.
Although I talk to you more than I talk to a whole lot of people I know in real life.
Exactly. We talk so much. So in the 6-week class, every Saturday, we have a study group. So I'm like, I see Angela every week. And what did we meet? Like not even 6 weeks ago. It had to be like 4 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
about 4 weeks. Yeah.
We just
Wow.
connected, and it feels like I've known you. That literally startled me to hear you say, I can't wait to meet you in person. I'm like, oh my God, we haven't.
Definitely.
That happens. That exactly is what happened. When your spirits just connect like that. So
Yes,
same
yes.
thing happened with me and Angela. I was like, girl, no, we haven't met. You need to, girl. She came down to the A last month, and
You had a ball.
we had a great time.
Yeah, it was
So
nice.
thank you so much again, Melanie, and thank you, Angela,
Of
as well.
course. Of course.
Yeah. Well, everyone have a blessed rest of the day. What is it today? Friday, Thursday?
Yeah,
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yes, almost time. Almost time. Okay, I'm gonna stop the live stream.